Number one, Moxley is a YouTuber known for exploring haunted places and abandoned buildings, often diving into ghost hunts and paranormal investigations. But this time he's doing something a little different, stealth camping in a forest that's said to be haunted by a headless horseman with just a hammock and some basic gear. He sets out to find a hidden spot to spend the night and hopefully capture something unusual.
Go try and find somewhere to camp. I've literally just bought the hammock here tonight. It's not a bad night, so I should be okay with this. So I just want to try and do it a little bit stealthy here. And then we're going to do an investigation to try and find out some more about this demonic headless horseman. So let's try and find somewhere to camp.
He picks a quiet place to set up, but it turns out he's not alone. Other campers are nearby, so he moves carefully to avoid drawing attention. As he settles in, strange sounds start coming from the woods, clicks, rustling, and what sounded like footsteps.
The woods behind the camera, shall I say, in front of me. And again then. So I don't know if they're making their way over this side, because they might have seen my light. Or it could be other people coming down here. Right, I'm going to turn the light out. Hear that? Click, click, click. And all the seagulls are going. What the hell is that? It's almost like somebody was moving over there. Like somebody was walking through this, coming down here. They're very lively, aren't they? Right, so after that, which was a little bit odd, I'm just going to go sit down in the hammock, have something quick to eat, a quick drink, wait for the sun to totally go, and then I'm going to start doing some call outs. We'll go into the woods and we'll just see what happens.
At one point, he even hears what seems like gunshots echoing through the trees, which makes him understandably nervous.
Here in the hammock, and all of a sudden, all I hear is bang, 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 like 3 gunshots. It's literally what it sounded like, 3 gunshots. So I looked over at where those other lads are camping. You can see the torches moving through the trees. And every now and then, just lay there, I can hear, granted it could be animals, but it's not constant. It's like going through the trees. And then when I sit up and look, nothing. But then there's those 3 gunshots, which has put me on edge a little bit.
Later things get even weirder. Someone throws a stick in his direction and flashing lights begin to appear through the trees. It feels like someone or something is getting closer.
Who's there? Somebody's just flung. I've seen it as well. I think, yeah, it was this one. Somebody's just lobbed that from over there. Hey! Who's there? I'm just trying to camp just like you lads. Flash over there. Okay. See the flashing? Flashing over there. Yeah, they're coming this way.
Feeling uneasy, Moxley decides to move to a different part of the forest. While looking for a new campsite, he spots what he describes as a huge black dog rushing past him.
I have just seen the biggest dog, and it just come darting through there. It went down that way. Then there's a load of days. I'll show you those days now. You see those glowing eyes there? Right, let me switch to night vision. See if there's glowing eyes over there. It's actually days. See if we can get a closer look. I can see it, it's right in front of me. There's a day right in front of me. It's not moving. I just want you to see it. You see it? You see its glowing eyes? Look at that. can hear them. There it goes. But what got me attention with the days, I'm walking up, I'm just cutting through here, and I don't know what it was. It was big and it was black.
Moments later, he sees glowing eyes in the darkness. Turns out they belonged to a group of deer, but the strange behavior of the animals, especially how they ran toward him, only added to the unsettling experience. Moxley's best guess is that the other campers may have been messing with him, trying to scare him away. And honestly, if that was their goal, it worked. He ended up packing up and leaving, whether it was just a prank or something truly eerie. The night left him, and probably a few viewers, questioning if solo camping in haunted woods is ever really a good idea. Yeah.
Subscribe and help us reach 20,000 subscribers. 90% of you have not subscribed yet, so please do, it's free.
Number 2. Imagine you're camping deep in the woods and decide to climb a tree for a better view. Sounds peaceful until a black bear starts heading straight toward you. That's exactly what happened in this intense video, capturing a nerve-wracking moment between a man perched in a tree and a curious bear. At first, the bear just seems to be exploring the area, but things take a sudden turn when it begins climbing the very same tree. And it doesn't waste time, it moves up with surprising speed, getting closer and closer to the man above.
Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!
The situation quickly shifts from calm to potentially dangerous. In an effort to protect himself, the man tries to scare the bear off using loud noises and firm body language, but the bear isn't easily intimidated, it keeps climbing. The encounter highlights just how unpredictable wildlife can be, especially when they feel curious or alert to movement nearby. Then, just when the tension hits its peak, the bear unexpectedly stops, turns around, and slowly climbs back down. No one knows exactly why it changed its mind, but thankfully, the encounter ends safely. Both the man and the bear walk away unharmed, but it's a powerful reminder that nature doesn't always follow the script, and staying alert is key when you're out in the wild. Number 3, while enjoying a quiet hike through a thick forest, a woman took a moment to rest beside a small stream. Everything around her seemed calm. The sound of flowing water and rustling leaves created a peaceful atmosphere, but something didn't feel quite right. As she looked around, she noticed a man in the distance. He wasn't just passing by, he was watching her closely and seemed to be following her. Instantly, the calm turned into fear. She got up and began walking quickly, trying to stay ahead and keep her distance. Fortunately, she was able to shake him off and eventually made it home without any harm. Though nothing happened, the experience was unsettling and a strong reminder that even peaceful places can sometimes hold unexpected dangers. Number 4. This chilling clip comes from the YouTube channel Whole Other Level Outdoors, run by Daryl, who's passionate about outdoor life. He grew up surrounded by nature, spending his days hunting, fishing, and enjoying the calm of the wilderness. Most of his videos capture that peaceful connection with the wild, but one particular moment stands out from the rest. On October 24th, 2018, Daryl and his father set out on a quiet trip deep in the forest, far from civilization. The plan was simple, just some quality time around a campfire away from the noise of everyday life. But as night settled in, a strange howling sound broke the silence. It wasn't like anything either of them had ever heard before, and both had spent their whole lives in the woods.
Man, we're here in camp. Do you hear that?
At first, they assumed it might be a coyote in the distance, but the noise kept getting louder and closer. What started as a curious sound quickly turned into something unsettling. Given their experience in the outdoors, the fact that neither Daryl nor his father could identify the sound made it even more unnerving. After uploading the footage, viewers flooded the comments with guesses. Some thought it could have been a regular animal, while others believed it was something more mysterious, perhaps a creature like Bigfoot or Dogman's. No one could agree on what it was, and to this day, Daryl still remembers that night clearly. Whether it was something explainable or not, the encounter left a lasting impression and became one of the most unforgettable moments in Daryl's time spent in the wild. Number 5. A group of hikers was out exploring the great outdoors, enjoying the scenery and snapping photos of the wildlife around them. Everything was going smoothly until they noticed a polar bear in the distance. At first, they were thrilled, pulling out their cameras to capture the rare sight, but the mood changed fast. Without warning, the bear began charging directly at them. Panic set in. With no time to run and nowhere to hide, they did something completely unexpected. They let out loud howls. Strangely enough, it worked. The polar bear suddenly stopped, then turned and walked away. It's hard to imagine standing there as a massive predator runs full speed toward you, but somehow their instincts saved them. Number 6. In January 2013, a couple set out for what they hoped would be a relaxing winter camping trip. But instead of peace and quiet, they stumbled into something they couldn't explain.
Oh, where did it come from? We're in the middle of nowhere. Well, call me nuts, but I reckon that came from up there. But, well, unless the trees backed it down and... Oh, it's cold. Unless the trees made it echo, I don't know. I've never heard a sound like that before. Oh, yeah. It did have an element of eerie, isn't it? Yeah. My phone's about to die anyway. I don't want to be out here with no phone. So there it is again, do you hear that? Don't go just yet.
While walking through a snow-covered forest, an eerie, echoing noise rang out through the trees, deep, raw, and nothing like they had ever heard before. The sound was so strange, it immediately stopped them in their tracks. It didn't seem like any animal they knew, and it definitely wasn't human. It was loud, guttural, and seemed to roll through the woods, bouncing off the trees in every direction.
Maybe if we just went a bit further up, we might see something. Oh, this is it. Maybe it wasn't 2012, it was 2013. Fucking hell. Alright, okay. It's not an animal, is it? Oh yeah, that was loud. Alright. Hang on, right, turn this off. Oh, this is it. Maybe it wasn't 2012, it was 2013.
each new rumble, the sense of unease grew stronger. Even though they were scared, they pushed forward, hoping to make it out of the area quickly. But the noises kept coming, growing louder and more unsettling. Whatever was out there, it felt like it was watching and like it didn't want them around. They eventually made it out safe, but visibly shaken. That sound, it still lingers in their minds, and to this day, they have no idea what it really was. Number 7, a couple took a trip to Augustine Lighthouse on a day when the place was completely empty, no crowds, no distractions, just them and the historic tower. While exploring, the husband snapped a photo of the lighthouse without thinking much of it, but when they later looked at the image, they noticed something strange. A figure of a woman appeared near the edge of the tower, as someone they were sure wasn't there when the photo was taken. Curious and unsettled, they dug into the lighthouse's history. That's when they discovered the legend Maria Mestre de los Tellores, the first Hispanic woman to serve as lighthouse keeper there. Her husband, a painter, had tragically fallen from the very same tower. According to local stories, Maria never truly left the place where her husband died. Many believe she still returns to the site, perhaps searching, grieving, or simply staying near the memory of her loss. Number 8. This next chilling story comes from the Brazilian YouTube channel Caçadores das Sombras, where Luca and Yuri take on some of the most terrifying legends in the paranormal world. Known for pushing the limits, they've explored everything from haunted ruins to eerie folklore deep in the wilderness, but nothing quite prepared them for what they encountered on this trip. On May 10th, 2024, Luca, Yuri, and a small team journeyed into a remote forest that local legends claim is home to the Curupira, a creature from Brazilian folklore. This being is said to have fiery red hair and feet that face backwards, a feature meant to mislead anyone trying to track it. It's believed to punish hunters who harm animals, especially those who act without respect for nature. At first, the forest seems peaceful. They set up camp and spend time around the fire, documenting their surroundings and sharing a few laughs. When they venture out to investigate, the woods remain eerily quiet. No sounds, no movement, just an unsettling stillness.
Demorou, vamos pra lá então, Yuri? Bora lá, mano. Bora lá.
Lá na rampinha mesmo?
Vamos subir, vamos ver se a gente encontra ele de novo, mano. Bora.
Qualquer coisa vocês passam rádio, viu, mano?
Sim, pode deixar. Mano, essa oferenda não fez pra ele na última vez, né? Será que ele tomou, mano?
Mano, pelo que eu tava vendo aqui, não saiu nenhum.
Relieved and slightly disappointed, they return to their camp. But soon, the atmosphere shifts. Despite the warmth of the fire, a creeping sense of being watched starts to settle in.
Mano, será que os tiros que o Lucas deu acertou ele, mano?
Determined to see their investigation through, they head back into the darkness. That's when everything changes. Emerging from the shadows is a figure that matches the terrifying description of the Curupira.
Pode estar perto dos caras, mano. Nossa, mano, começou a ladeira pra mim. Segue, tenta seguir, viu? Tá indo ainda, mano. Nossa, mano. Que é isso aí, mano? Que é isso aí? A lanterna, mano. A lanterna, mano.
Você não quer fazer nada?
Que é isso aí, mano?
Ai, tá vindo!
A glowing humanoid form surrounded by flickering flame. Frozen in shock, the team watches before panic sets in. In a frenzy, they try to scare it off, but the creature doesn't react. It simply stands there unmoved, bathed in firelight. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanishes. Chaos follows. The group scatters, shouting through the forest in fear, struggling to find each other in the dark. One by one, they eventually regroup at camp, shaken, breathless, but unharmed.
hoping to reunite.
Lucão, o que aconteceu, mano?
Que foi? Nossa, mano do céu, você não acredita que aconteceu?
Mano, o que ele falou, droga?
Curupira, mano. É o Curupira? É o Curupira. Ele bateu no chão, mano. Ele bateu no chão assim, ó. Veio fogo tudo pra cima de nós, mano.
Ô, louco, mano.
Foi atrás dele. Ele correu em direção pra cá, assim, ó. E o Curupira, você não viu? Ele foi atrás dele.
Fala, onde você tá, mano?
Eu segui ele aqui, mano. Eu consegui ver pra onde ele vem, mano. Pô, ele entrou numa toca aqui, cara. Eu não tô conseguindo chegar até ele, mano.
Toca,
e agora?
Dá pra voltar, dá pra voltar. E ver, cara. Eu nunca vi um negócio desse, cara. Olha o Yuri lá. Olha o Yuri. Olha o Yuri. O que aconteceu, mano? O que aconteceu, velho? Mano, olha que isso aqui, mano.
Nossa, mano. Foi isso, velho.
O cara é muito forte, velho. Ô, você é louco, mano.
Mano, como que ele faz isso aí? Eu não sabia que ele podia fazer isso aí, não.
Mano, você é louco, velho.
Though terrified, they decide to return to the spot where the creature appeared, hoping to find a trace of the flames. But with nothing more to gain and much more to lose, they pack up and leave the forest behind. Number 9. In this chilling entry, a solo investigator named Jay explores a place shrouded in fear and folklore, Witch's Swamp. Tucked deep within a remote forest, this area is believed to be cursed. According to legend, a woman accused of witchcraft was executed here in the 1700s, and ever since, strange phenomena have surrounded the land. Locals have reported ghostly lights, whispers in the trees, and shadowy humanoid figures that vanish without a trace. Some say it's haunted by the woman's spirit. Others suspect something far more sinister resides there. Jay begins his investigation, already gripped by unease. He sits in his vehicle for nearly an hour before mustering the courage to step into the swamp. Despite the mild outdoor temperature, an unnatural cold envelops him the moment crosses into the tree line.
My heart is racing right now. I have no idea why.
Breath becomes visible. The drop in temperature feels deliberate, almost as if the forest itself is reacting to his presence. The deeper he goes, the more intense the sensation of being watched becomes. At one point, he spots a figure standing in the distance, pale, humanoid, hairless, and disturbingly motionless. It disappears almost instantly.
I don't know if this camera's picking it up or not. Something is... What is that? What the freak did I just see? It almost looked like some weird human thing standing there, and it moved as soon as... Oh my god. I don't know.
Though not captured on camera, Jay vividly recalls its disturbing features. The forest around him feels hostile, and his body reacts. His breathing shortens, a sharp headache begins to form, and the pressure in the air seems to grow heavier. Attempting to make contact using his equipment, Jay begins receiving rapid and unsettling responses.
demon child.
What? I got that response out here as well, but it was in a different video out in that parking lot. Oh man. Look, there's one of those situations. There's a leaf moving right there. And nothing else is moving. There's no wind at all tonight. Look how still everything else is. Even all those dead leaves right there aren't moving.
Over here.
Whoa, something just fell over there. Over where? Right or left?
He starts noticing physical changes in the environment that can't be explained. Individual leaves moving while everything else remains still, objects falling with no visible cause, and cold gusts that come out of nowhere. Eventually, his camera light shuts off completely despite having a full battery not long before. Earlier in the session, he had allowed the entities to interact with his gear. Now it seems they've taken that opportunity. Switching to a backup flashlight, he presses on, but the sensation of being surrounded becomes unbearable. The forest feels alive in a way that defies explanation. Dense, not only with trees, but with unseen presence. Then he spots a light in the distance. Isolated deep within the woods, with no other people for miles, this light has no reason to exist. Its presence confirms what Jay has feared all along. He is not alone. Jay doesn't wait for an invitation to leave. He listens to the atmosphere, to the forest, and chooses to walk away. Number 10.
Deep in the heart of the UK lies a forest with a sinister reputation. Known as one of the most haunted places in the country, its dark history is riddled with eerie tales. Whispers of a brutal massacre in the 1940s, where multiple families were slaughtered. Over the decades, countless reports have surfaced of shadowy figures lurking among the trees and distant, unexplainable screams piercing the night, as the sound of a bunk bed crashing to the floor. Too distinct and heavy to be mere coincidence. Panic began to set in, and they decided to leave.
In this unsettling adventure from exploring with Josh and 4 of his friends embark on an exciting journey to Italy, aiming to document 2 abandoned locations known for their eerie beauty. The first stop is an abandoned amusement park, once opened in 1960 but closed in 2002 after complaints about its safety and cleanliness. The park, now forgotten, has fallen victim to nature's encroachment. Overgrown and decaying, it feels as though the land itself is trying to reclaim what was once its own. The group explores the park with enthusiasm, unaware that the serenity of the abandoned grounds will soon be shattered by unsettling events.
I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just going through the woods. Nature took this place over. I think this could be a food stand. I can't make out what that says. Oh, look at that. Hot dog and hamburgers. And a half airplane ride. We're now approaching this very unstable roller coaster. No, this is cool. Very cool. How many carts were there? There was a lot of carts.
It looks like they went on individual.
Video game Star World, it says. You think it might have been an old arcade. First place is now done. Wasn't too much there, but we definitely had to come in and document.
As they walk among the rusting rides and fading signs, the air grows heavy and a sense of unease begins to creep in. The roller coaster, though still standing, looks unstable and strange remnants of the past linger. After documenting the park, the group heads to their next destination, a massive textile factory founded in 1924 and abandoned in 2003 due to financial decline. The factory is enormous, a sprawling labyrinth of rusted machinery and forgotten rooms. Though the explorers initially remain optimistic, the mood shifts when they notice something strange.
There's other people here, but I think they're just explorers. They sound like just kids. Dude, check out the vines.
Amico, puoi fare il foto? Non farmi il foto, per favore. No? Per favore, il foto. Ok. No, video. What do you say?
I don't know what this guy's trying to do. I don't know if he wants our money or something, but he's over there talking about money and trying to do something. I'm just like, yeah, screw it, man. I'm trying to film. Walking out of the room I just showed you into this one right next door. It's even huger.
Other people in the building. At first, it seems harmless, just other urban explorers, but as they venture deeper, the atmosphere turns darker. The other explorers act strangely, and an unsettling feeling of being watched starts to grow.
There's a guy down there. He's seen us, stopped here, and just drove away. Because this is probably the most biggest factory that's abandoned in the world. I'm just guessing, but it is so massive that I really think it is. We don't want to encounter those people again because there's a bit more than before, and they're all like, I don't know, man. They all literally seem like they're up to no good. I feel like we're gonna get jumped if we go over there, so we're finding another way out just to be safe.
Out at the other end of the building.
You think there's a way out of there?
Yeah, I think so. There's a way out.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go.
The group senses that something is off. As more and more people gather in the factory, their behaviors become more erratic and a sense of danger begins to take hold. The group tries to stay calm, making their way toward an exit, but the factory feels like a maze as
That's a great way. Well, we're almost out. Now we just have to find a staircase down and we're free. If only there was like oh, right here, right here. We're free. He's coming. Yeah, he's coming. Oh, he's coming right now. He's coming right now. There's a different guy? I can't see if he has anything in his hands or not. My camera's looking back for us. Let's just get out of here. Yeah, let's just go. Yeah, he's literally right behind us. Explorers, that was legit creepy. Like, you seen how we were going through the dark alleyways and like that? Literally, like, I was vlogging as we went. Like, as soon as I showed you guys the dark alleyways, we were walking through it, and as soon as I seen the stairway went down, there wasn't no cut like 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later. No, it was as soon as we get down, all of a sudden he's calling us right where we were.
they search for an escape, their worst fears come true. Someone is following them. Fortunately, they manage to escape the factory unharmed. In this chilling next clip, we follow Jasko, the creator behind the popular YouTube channel known for his terrifying overnight challenges. From haunted forests to abandoned asylums, Jasko has built a name for himself by diving headfirst into the most unsettling locations imaginable. This time, he's teaming up with his close friend Chris for an overnight stay in what's believed to be the most haunted forest in New York, a place haunted not just by ghost stories but by real tragedies, including reports of multiple bodies being discovered there. Locals even whisper about it being a dumping ground for a possible serial killer linked to the infamous smiley face theory. It's October 20th, 2024, and the two arrive just before dusk, giving them a little daylight to explore and figure out where to set up camp.
Now, it is very scary just thinking about the fact that I don't have the gun, Chris does, but that's why we're doing this while it's still kind of bright out. Okay, so this is like a direct entry to the water, I suppose. Yeah, cool. And that keeps going that way. All right. I'm assuming people have fished here. I see some, yeah, supplies and whatnot. Some very bad things have happened out here. There have even been claims of like a potential serial killer who used to bring his victims out here, and it's very scary to even think about. There's like one case that's still open. I think it's called like the smiley face killer. What is? It's strange.
As the sun dips below the trees, the tension begins to rise. The forest is eerily quiet, and though nothing strange has happened yet, both men can feel that something's... They try to keep things casual, walking around, cooking dinner and chatting, but that uneasy atmosphere never really goes away. Then, just as they're beginning to wind down for the night, something unexpected and truly frightening happens. Out of nowhere, a mysterious car pulls up right next to their camper deep in the woods, far from any main road. It stops, the engine hums. The driver doesn't step out, he just sits there, watching.
Guys. Why is he stopping? Guys.
What's he doing? Oh, he's stopping. Can you grab the gun?
Yeah, hold on. Holy shit. He stopped right in front of us. He's literally here. Bro.
What's he doing? What's the matter?
Bro, what the fuck?
Where'd he go?
He's driving off right now, but whoa, what the hell was that?
I don't know.
What the hell was that about? I'm glad you saw that. Bro, the van's on.
Yeah, he just stopped.
Chris scrambles for the gun and both of them brace themselves, completely unsure of what's about to go down. Moments later, the car drives off into the night, leaving behind a heavy silence and even heavier paranoia. At that point, the pair knew what they had to do. No paranormal experience could compare to the fear of being watched by a stranger in the middle of nowhere. So, they packed up and got out of there fast. It was a sobering reminder, sometimes it's not the ghosts you have to worry about, it's the people. This next clip was shared by a Reddit user who was out late one night when he spotted something truly strange in the sky. Floating silently among the clouds was a disc-shaped object, perfectly circular and completely still. There was no sound, no flashing lights, nothing to suggest it was a plane or drone. For a few moments, it just hovered there, unmoving. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished into the night. Was it a UFO, some kind of rare atmospheric illusion, or something else entirely? Whatever it was, it left behind more questions than answers.